Oh, let's talk about rules. Now, look, in my personal life, in my personal space, yeah, I set rules for people, how they act around me. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about rules for, yourself. How you go about, wishing for things, affirming things, assuming things, about how you want your life to be. Um, so let me try to spin this in a different way here so it makes more sense. I basically, um, if you look at my few clips before this one, I was talking about how people, they worry about this technique or that technique or how they're using the tense, past tense, present tense, future tense, how they get neurotic about it and how it might uh, positively or negatively affect their affirmations, their desires coming true or not, them getting what they want or not. And they get all crazy about it. And basically, before you know it, they have a bunch of rules, right? You look at a lot of these forums online and a lot of these law of assumption groups and this, they got rules, right? Before you know it, you have a religion, okay? I don't really, aside from certain traditional things that I like about, say, for example, religion that I was brought up with, my tradition that I grew up with, I don't really like rules. I never liked rules of religion, okay? I was raised Catholic. So Catholics have a whole bunch of rules they have to live by according to church, right? I never liked rules, and I don't pay attention to those rules because now I know how things really are. I can appreciate certain things for what they are and how they make me feel without all that other baggage, which limits you, okay? Like, not eating meat on Fridays in Lent. What's the purpose of that? I know all the listed purposes of it, but there really is no real purpose. Okay, it's just a rule to put on you to 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 um, further enhance the limitations that you've been living with all along. And all the religions have them, right? Judaism has kosher. Like if you're that level of Judaism, you've got all these rules around kosher eating. OMG, have you ever looked at that stuff? And Islam has a whole bunch around food and eating and stuff. You're not allowed to have this. You're not allowed to have that. Watch out for that combination and whatever else. And then you've got certain things of how you treat body hair or certain things you have to wear or not wear. It's just, and it goes on and on. All the religions, they have this. So I'm not picking on any particular religion. I'm saying if you want rules, go practice a religion and pray to a non-existent out there God and hope that you get what you want, right? But don't try to turn this into some kind of a quasi religion with all of these rules. Now, there are certain guidelines, right? And that's what we all talk about, right? About how you know, this one likes to affirm at night in a state akin to sleep, and this one here prefers robotic affirming, and you've got all these things. This one prefers this or that. Look, all that stuff is fine. There are no rules, though. It's whatever works for you, whatever you are comfortable with. Don't set yourself up a bunch of rules that you must follow because all rules do is limit you. I mean, rules actually depress me. I I don't like outside. I don't like rules from outside, and I certainly don't set rules for myself that I must follow because I always break them anyway. Because I don't like following rules. Now, I'm not talking about rules of society. I'm not talking about not stopping at a red light or, you know, not going out and like assaulting people. I'm not talking about those kind of rules. I mean, there is like the golden rule, right? That's a good rule, right? I'm talking about these crazy little BS rules that we set for ourselves, which don't do anything except enhance limitation, right? And the whole object here is to set yourself free from limitation and realize that you are I am. You are I am. There are no real rules for you. Of course, we want to keep everything positive. We want to keep everything, you know, uplifting, noble, as Neville Goddard said, noble. But I think you could kind of understand where I'm going with this, right? You got a lot of people out there. You'll get all these answers to people, to like newbies posting questions about this stuff, and you'll get people. No, Neville's against affirmations, and and they got all these rules they start setting up. No, Neville wasn't against affirmations. If you read and listen to his lectures and everything, he talked about affirming all the time. He wasn't just into the state akin to sleep stuff. But people tend to they like rules and they like setting rules for others. And some people almost look for rules to follow. Get away from that. Don't go in for rules. You don't need crazy rules for everything because it's just going to hamper you. Experiment with different things. Experiment with all the so-called techniques and see what works for you. What resonates with you. You will eventually come across something that works well for you. Okay? So that's what I mean by I hate rules and I don't like to follow them, and why you shouldn't like rules either. Alright? It's funny with words because, like I said, there are certain little, like the golden rule and stuff, which is okay, but I'm talking about all these crazy little limitation rules that people like to set up for how they do this and how they do that, how they're going to affirm, whether or not they're going to affirm, what time of day, this or that. You don't need all of that. There's no such thing, all right? It's whatever works for you and be comfortable. If you want a bunch of crazy rules to follow, then go join a religion. And lots of luck with that, because I know where that leads. So anyway, I hope this helps somebody break free of crazy, ridiculous, unneeded rules and opens up the door to their desires. Thank you.